Hi, this is Lynn Swearingen. How well does hypnosis work? I've heard this question so many times, and it's a valid question. And there are many skeptics and people who question the value of hypnosis. And years ago, we couldn't answer the question. We could only answer it from observance, because we could observe the changes that were happening with people and the value of that, but it couldn't be proven. But now we have the technology to see what's going on in different states of consciousness, and there are many scientific studies today that prove the worth and the value of hypnosis, and even the necessity of it in certain situations. I want to tell you about Dr. Alfred Barrios, who I met, interviewed him in a radio show years ago. A delightful man who was a clinical psychologist, a doctor, teaching at UCLA, California, a professor, and he wanted to objectively study and survey the psychotherapy literature as a psychologist and do scientific studies to find out what was most effective. And what he found was astonishing. And his studies are still up on his website, and they can be read today. But this is the synopsis. And what he found clarified the remarkable effectiveness of hypnotherapy. He found that psychoanalysis, Freudian psychology, was 38% recovery after 600 sessions, an enormous outlay of money with very little result, if any. It's valuable in terms of learning more in a more reflective way about yourself and going inside, but it didn't really change anything. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, was much better and had a 72% recovery after 22 sessions. So that's worth going. That's worth giving it a shot. And if you can change your life in 22 sessions, it's worth whatever you're paying. Nobody would dispute that. But there was still a pretty good chance that maybe it wouldn't quite get where it needs to go. And I have people coming in all the time saying, I've been going to therapy forever, and it's not really changing anything. I can't get past this problem. Hypnotherapy, he found, had a 93% recovery after 6 sessions. Absolutely remarkable. And I understand that, and I know that this is true. It's kind of the magic number. I've seen it over and over again in my sessions with my clients, that there are many aspects to a problem, and what we're doing is peeling away the layers of an onion, for example. There are different aspects to a problem, and when somebody comes in and says, this is my problem, I can't sleep at night, or I'm biting my nails, I'm really drinking a little more than I need to. Whatever it is that they come in and say is a problem, it almost always is a symptom of the real problem. And that problem will have many different aspects to it, and you can only deal with one change at a time when in your subconscious. And so you start rolling out this change one session at a time. And so I completely understood this 93% recovery after 6 sessions. It is a remarkable change that I see in my clients. Absolutely amazing. And I don't disrespect counseling, psychology, psychologists, and doctors in any way. I am not a doctor. I don't treat, diagnose, or cure. What I do is completely different, a whole different skill set, different modality for change. But one isn't exclusive of another. Psychologists give a lot of benefit to their patients, helping them to understand their behavior and ways that they might change. It's not instead of hypnosis, and hypnosis is never instead of going to a psychologist. They complement one another. Sometimes you have what we call an emotional imprint that is so deep that when you try to implement what you've learned in counseling, this emotional bomb goes off and gets in the way, and you just can't move beyond. I help that to shift and change and to release all of that. And then that person is able to be present when they're with their counselor and to actually hear and listen and receive. And then they can implement what wonderful things they just learned. But hypnotherapy has a 93% effectiveness rate after 6 sessions. And that happens regardless of whether or not you go for counseling somewhere else. It happens. It is amazing. Hypnotherapy is the most valuable tool to unleash your inner brilliance and love your life again.